our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Global TV News Cycle in Nigeria's capital, Abuja. I am Queen Agaba. President Bola Tinubu has described his meeting with British monarch King Charles III as significant. The duo met in Dubai, United Arab Emirates, on the eve of the ongoing 20th United Nations Climate Change Conference, also known as Conference of the Parties COP28. In a tweet on his verified X handle, the president described the party as a significant step towards strengthening the Nigerian-United Kingdom's relations and partnership. The president expressed optimism that the contributions of both Nigeria and the United Kingdom will impact positively on the world's future in the efforts to set equitable global environmental standards. President Bola Tinubu on Wednesday presented a budget of 27.5 trillion naira to a joint session of the National Assembly in the nation's capital, calling it a budget of renewed hope. Sharon Ajay reports that in the days following, Nigerians are already reacting to the development, expressing concerns and expectations regarding the fiscal proposal.
Adedamola Onyekunle makes a case for the need to ensure that necessary measures are taken and structures put in place to guarantee effective implementation, adding that beyond the budgeted amount, government under the leadership of President Tinubu should ensure that its execution impacts citizens in ways that are positive.
First of all, it's very important to note that it's heartwarming to understand that the president is putting more money into, different strategic sector of governance, security, education, health, and host of others. Yeah, but the previous government also has put money in. Put a lot of money, invest a lot of money in all of this sector. The question now is, what are the systems in place? I, for one, know that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a man of systems. So I'm quite sure, one way or the other, he will try to put system in place to monitor the investment that is going into security, going into education, going into health, and also other sectors of the economic system.
Applauding the increase in the overall size of the budget, Yinka Amusa called for higher budgetary allocation in the agriculture sector in light of food security and inflation.
Just that I'm an agriculturist, and I would love that agriculture take larger part, or even the largest, because Nigeria is blessed, and everybody is shouting of no food because of the cost of food is high. So we need to pump money into our agriculture so that Nigeria can have food security. So I believe that the budget will speak well for us.
This respondent urges the federal government to prioritize fair and equitable distribution.
The only thing is that the people in charge, if they can use the money the same way that the directive from the Mr. President, I think it will go a long way to help our school children. I think it will go a long way.
Sharon Ajay reporting for Global TV News.
The federal government announced that a new minimum wage regime would come into effect on April 1st, 2024. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Idris Mohammed, made this announcement, saying the current 30,000 naira minimum wage would expire at the end of March 2024. Mohammed further disclosed that the committee is being constituted and the federal government is talking to Labour about it. He added that by the time this current wage regime expires by the end of March, Nigerian workers should expect that a new wage will kick off by April. The federal government says it will sanction employers of labor over indecent working conditions that negates local and international labor laws. The Minister of Labor and Employment, Simon Lalong, said this during the inauguration of Decent Work Country Program 3, 2023 to 2027 on Friday in Abuja. The DWCP was inaugurated to promote jobs, guarantee rights at work, extend social protection, and promote social dialogue. The program was organized by the Federal Ministry of Labor and Employment in collaboration with the International Labour Organization, Lalong added that decent work deficits had continued to abound in the economy as informal employment has become the norm while well-paying jobs that offer social protection benefits are the exception. According to him, workers in the informal economy are exposed to poor working conditions, low pay, long hours of work, and low rates of unionism, unsafe working environments. Members of the Nasarawa State House of Assembly on Friday unanimously elected Danlaji Jato, representing Kokona West constituency, as Speaker of the House. Similarly, the position of the Deputy Speaker went to Mohammed Oyanki, member representing Doma North constituency. The newly occupied position followed Tuesday's sack of the former Speaker Ibrahim Abdullahi at the appeal court sitting in Abuja. Bayelsa State Governor Doye Diri has ordered investigation into the distribution of palliatives with a view to bring to book culprits who diverted food items. Diri gave the directive at the State Executive Council meeting in the Government House, Yenagwa, following complaints that some individuals diverted the items meant for each ward in the state. The state government had procured more food items in addition to the 5 trucks of rice allotted to each state by the federal government as part of the measures to cushion the effect of the removal of petrol subsidy on people of the state. Diri urged politicians to be selfless in their conduct and not withhold what is meant for people at the grassroots. The Jigawa state government has approved the recruitment of 1,124 health workers previously engaged as casual workers under its J Health program. This is contained in a statement by the Commissioner for Information, Youth, Sports and Culture, Alhaji Sagir Musa, on Friday in Duse. According to Musa, the State Executive Council approved the exercise during its meeting, adding that the approval is in line with the Governor Umar Namadi administration's commitment to enhance access to affordable healthcare services across the state. Anambra State Government has commenced training for its task force team to monitor hospitals to curb operations of quack doctors in the state. The 3-day training was organized by the State's Ministry of Health in collaboration with the National Agency for the Control of AIDS under Resilient and Sustainable System for Health Initiative of the state government. Commissioner for Health, Dr. Afam Obidike, at the opening of the training yesterday in Awka, said that many hospitals in the rural areas are run by quacks and secondary school dropouts, adding that the need to improve healthcare service delivery in both public and private health facilities, as well as to protect the health of the residents, is pivotal. The Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria, FAN, has denied issuing a prohibition on the use of Ghana Must Go at the country's airports. Reports in various media platforms on Friday, December 1st, 2023, stated that the FAN placed a ban on Ghana Must Go bags. The report stated that the ban is particularly for passengers traveling through international airports in the country. Reacting to the reports, FAN put out a short statement on their X handle that they did not issue any ban, further explaining that the ban was issued by Ethiopian Airlines. And Ethiopian Airlines explains why a restriction was placed on Ghana Must Go bags at airports in a statement released by Ethiopian Airlines on Friday, December 1st, 2023. The move was taken as a result of damages incurred following the usage of the bag. The airline, however, pointed out that the bag can only be used if it is adequately packed. The airline requested the cooperation of everybody in complying with this rule to ensure the smooth operation of flight and minimize any potential disruptions caused by damaged conveyor belts. He further thanked people for their understanding and continued support in adhering to the guidelines. The Nigerian Air Force, NAF, has announced that its Mi-35P helicopter crashed in Port Harcourt shortly after takeoff. The crash occurred at about 7:45 a.m. shortly after the aircraft took off for an operation against economic saboteurs in Rivers. A statement by the Nigerian Air Force Director of Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Edward Gapquet, on Friday in Abuja said 5 crew members were aboard the helicopter, adding that all the 5 survived with minor injuries were being treated at the Nigerian Air Force Medical Center in Port Harcourt. The Chief of the Air Staff, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, is currently en route to Port Harcourt to assess the situation and see to the well-being of the crew and give further directives. Over 1.6 million Nigerians are living with HIV, according to a 2022 report from the National Agency for Control of AIDS. In commemoration with the World AIDS Day, the agency held a road show to create awareness and sensitize citizens on the prevalence of the disease in the country. Global TV's correspondent, Sobra Usman, tells us more.
The Director General of the National Agency for the Control of AIDS, Dr. Gambo Aliyu, called on community leaders to help in eradicating HIV amongst children. He said the government agency is confident to end HIV/AIDS on or before 2030, as he revealed that the agency is providing HIV treatments and tests to Nigerians nationwide.
Every leader in a community should take that as priority to make sure no child in our communities are born with HIV. And we are confident before 2030 we will eliminate mother-to-child transmission of HIV with the support of our communities. We are providing free HIV tests. If you don't know your status, come and know your status free. And we are providing free HIV treatment all over the country. All you need to do is to demand for this service.
Chairman of the World AIDS Day Committee, Yinka Falola, called on Nigerians, healthcare stakeholders, and community leaders to collaborate in ending the scourge of HIV/AIDS. She urged the public to take preventive measures in order to reduce the spread of HIVs.
Community leaders, religious leaders, parents, young people, different society leaders, they also need to play that skill to ensure that we end the epidemic. And particularly for young people who are still on reproductive health, who are giving birth, to get supported, both the female and the male, the partners, to support their spouses, their partners when they are bringing forth children.
The World AIDS Day Roadwork Show was conducted to enlighten Nigerians on healthcare measures to swiftly end HIV/AIDS in the country. Sobra Usman, Global Television News, Abuja.
To mark the pivotal impact communities have had in shaping the HIV response, as well as Global Health Large AIDS Healthcare Foundation, AHF, Nigeria commemorates the 2023 World AIDS Day in a walk in the FCT Jabi. Global TV's health correspondent Fawzia Lukman tells us more.
In these walks are supporters from all parts of the FCT to create awareness on ending AIDS before 2030. The chairman of the House of Reps Committee on AIDS, Tuberculosis and Malaria, Amobi Godwin, flagged off the walk with members of the committee from the police post at the Beggar bus stop under the bridge to the AHF office at Jabi. In his address at the walk-off, he declared the support and commitment of the ATMC committee to implement the progressive legislative agenda that can provide Nigeria to achieve the LDG goal to end AIDS and tuberculosis in 2030.
By the Nigerian government and her implementing partners, and by joining the civil society organization present here today, declare the support and commitment of members of the ATM committee to implement a progressive legislative agenda that Nigerians can be proud of and that is able to provide the needed operational environment towards achieving the SDG Goal 3 to end AIDS and tuberculosis by 2030.
Speaking further, the country director said,
with the message and the theme, it's not over, and also letting communities lead. This is important because worldwide we are using this day to remember those that have passed and those who are living with HIV, and all the players and donors and governments who have put hands together, resources together.
Speaking on effort made towards the fight against HIV/AIDS, Dr. Benedict pleaded with global leaders to place HIV high on the health agenda to ensure that resources are available.
That is why the team for this year, the global theme is what? Let community lead. AHF itself, our team is not over, because we know that it's not yet over. We want to make sure by 2030 we eradicate HIV totally in Nigeria with the goals of UN/AIDS 95 strategic goals. These strategies will help everybody that is living with HIV to actually come out and be on treatment. And once you're on treatment, the chances for you to have your viral suppression done is very, very okay.
This day is set aside to remember those living with HIV and those who have lost their lives to HIV. For Global TV celebrating World AIDS Day, Fauziya Lukman, Global TV News.
The National Identity Management Commission said it is prepared to work with state government to build accurate and reliable databases to ensure that the subnationals make adequate provision for the needs of the people. The Director General of NIMC, Abisoye Koka-Odushote, made this when he received the General Manager of the Lagos State Residence Registration Agency, Bilikis Adebiyi-Abiola, at the Commission's headquarters in Abuja. Koka-Odushote, in a statement signed by her Special Advisor in Media and Communications, Ayodele Babalola, on Thursday, stated that the collaboration would make it easy for states to use NIMC's database to improve service delivery and policy formulation. In a bid to create introspective analysis of the growth of pathology service in Africa, pathologists from across Africa converge in Abuja for a conference that looks to explore latest trends in modern pathology practice. Global TV's Fauziya Lukman brings the reports.
As pathology is the science of the causes and effects of diseases, especially the branch of medicine that deals with the laboratory examination of samples of body tissues for diagnostics and forensic purposes, pathologists drawn from across Africa seeking how to, among other things, make the most of latest technology in the area of personalized cancer care. But cancer treatment is one small aspect of pathology, as Minister of Health says it's particularly crucial that the country goes much further to look at the area of forensics and autopsy in solving crimes, and says the Ministry of Health is open to collaborating with the police to make it possible. Chief Medical Director of Federal Medical Center Abuja, Saad Ahmad, says embracing the latest forensic technology will be a huge milestone in the administration of justice in the country.
At the National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria, Faculty of Pathology, we have actually established, and it's the first subspecialty training in forensic pathology.
Poverty and less than adequate willpower by African government, a cross-section of the pathologists at the conference says, is responsible for the poor state of pathology on the continent, with Africa having a lot of catching up to do.
When we say cancer, people think that cancer is a single disease. It's not. Even if you take cancer disease, there are so many types of it. And even the same type, we two different people live differently. That is why we talk about personalized treatments.
The main issue in our practice is that we don't have all the techniques, the modern techniques to explain, to make diagnosis of disease and also to explain causes of death.
Nigeria's Health Ministry says it looks forward to collaborating with the police to develop forensic technology to the point of solving crimes in line with global best practices. Fauziya Lukman, Global TV News.
The Nigerian Senate has strongly condemned all forms of violence against women and girls, emphasizing the need for more robust measures to safeguard their interest. This position was articulated during Thursday's plenary, where the senators actively participated in the 16 days of activism against gender-based violence on women and the girl child. We bring you the report. Take a listen. Adorning orange sashes as a symbol of solidarity for the advocacy, the lawmakers, including the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, were united in their commitment to address this critical issue. The advocacy motion was sponsored by 17 senators, spearheaded by Senator Ireti Kingigbe, representing the FCT.
Since the launch of the National Gender-Based Data Room and Dashboard, over 28,000 cases of gender-based violence have been reported nationwide. In all these reported cases, over 9,000 have been opened against offenders.
Voicing their support to the motion, Senator Adams Oshiomhole, Natasha Akpoti, and Abdul Ningi, among others, acknowledged the virtues and sacrifices made by women globally, with a specific emphasis on those in Nigeria.
As politicians, we also know that most of us in this room, about 70 to 60% of those who voted for us are women. The men can collect the money and take by one on an election day, while you see the women queuing under sun and rain with children on their back to vote so that we can be in these chambers. I think we will just be doing justice to the foundation of our own, of our system.
Nigerian women, just like women across Africa and the world, have suffered greatly, not only in the hands of our fellow men, but sometimes even women, sometimes even in organizations where we work, and therefore I'd lend my voice in calling for a stop in all form of violence against girls.
It is always important. It takes two to tango. The women folk also must at every given time know their position in society. You men, as they listen, to also rise to the occasion. They are human beings like every other of us.
In concluding the debate, before the motion was passed, the Senate President declared all the senators are all in agreement that violence against women and the girl child must be unequivocally condemned.
I also want to plead with women that as we are supporting them, the entire chambers is yellow in support of women and the girl child, that we abhor violence against women in all ramifications, that women should also try not to violate the rights of men.
For Global TV, Queen Agaba reporting. In the early hours of today, Friday, 1st December 2023, gunmen attacked the residence of the Resident Electoral Commissioner, REC, in Lokoja, Kogi State. The armed men engaged the security personnel in a gun battle for over 30 minutes until reinforcements arrived. While no lives were lost, properties were destroyed in the ensuing gun battle. A team of combined security personnel have been deployed to protect the residents. This incident occurred a day after a mob besieged the state office. You're watching Global TV News Cycle, coming to you live from Nigeria's capital, Abuja. We're on Star Times, channel 276. Kindly follow us across all social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. When the news cycle returns, FG committed to LGA's Financial Autonomy Minister. And that's on the business news. And the news continues shortly with details of this and other stories right after this break. Please stay with us. The federal government says it is committed to ensuring that local governments are given financial autonomy as part of measures to ensure effective governance at the grassroots. The Minister of Special Duties and Intergovernmental Affairs, Zephaniah J. Salo, stated this at the close of a two-day conference of functionaries and key actors in local government administration, further noting that the local government is a very important tier of governance that cannot be overlooked, and that if the government gets it right at that level, it will reflect positively on the state and federal tiers of government. Giselo added that corruption, political interference, and lack of capacity among local government officials are major setbacks for the development at the local level. OPEC Plus has lowered Nigeria's oil production target for 2024 to 1.5 million barrels per day from its previous target of 1.74 million per day. The move comes as the group of oil-producing countries seeks to manage supply and demand in the global oil market. Nigeria is Africa's largest oil producer, has struggled to meet its production quotas in recent years due to underinvestment and security issues. However, the country's output has picked up in recent months, helped by more production offshore. The new production targets are subject to revision at the next OPEC Plus meeting, which is scheduled for December. Nigeria could potentially reach 1.5 million barrel per day in crude output next year without any significant disruption. Yet, achieving this seems unlikely due to the maturity and decline of most of Nigeria's oil fields. And that's it on Global TV News Cycle. Don't forget on Star Times channel 276. Kindly follow us across all our social media platforms using @Global TV NG and other handles now showing on your screen. I am Queen Agaba. Thank you for watching and see you again.